Welcome back, everyone. This is Jaronitis bringing you Feed the Beast Unleashed, episode 7. We are going to do a bunch of things today. We're going to try to do it rather quickly. I'm on a time limit. Anyway, if you look over here, I've moved a couple things around, made it a little bit more efficient. I did finish making some of the redstone energy conduit. That's what this stuff is. But we're going to make some more anyway. Now, as you saw before, we were making the hardened glass. I've made a bunch of it. So we take the hardened glass. We don't want to use a whole lot of this stuff because it's used for a lot of other things. But we're going to put electrum with it. And that's going to give us energy conduits empty. Combine those together and you get your empty energy conduits. So we're going to take these over here where I have the melted liquid redstone. And we're going to drop them in. As you can see, it's filling them up and making redstone energy conduits. Which is exactly what we wanted to make. So, mission accomplished. Now, I placed a bunch of the stuff down to make it so that I can continue to keep all of these machines filled with energy. And now that I've managed to do that, we're going to move on to something more interesting. Now, several episodes back, I mentioned to you that I would show you what the force wrench was used for, and that's not going to do. We need to get rid of all that in redstone. So hang on, we're going to make a couple more of these to use up that liquid redstone. That's probably more than I need, but I'll worry about that later. Oh, lots more than I needed. Anyway, so now that's empty. So you place the stuff down. As you can see here, right below the engine, you can see the little red arrow pointing down with the orange line below it. That is the flow of energy. Over here, underneath these, you can see that there's a blue line with an arrow pointing up. See? So that's showing the energy is coming out of the engines and going into the machines, as it should be. So for those of you who might have found that to not be as easy to follow, or didn't notice, because when I first started doing this, I didn't notice it either. But anyway, so that's how that's working, and we have energy, and that's all good stuff. So, what we're going to do now is I'm going to show you this force wrench. The force wrench can pick up items without disturbing their contents. So, this chest has this stuff in it. I'm now going to hold shift and right click, and boop, there goes the chest. It now shows the chest in my inventory, and now I can actually place it anywhere I want, and we're going to move it over once just for the sake of showing. And look, all the stuff's still in it. So it makes moving things a lot easier. Now, the other really good thing about this is that you can use it on other things besides chests. An excellent demonstration for this is going to help provide us with a lot of resources that we're going to need and make mining a lot easier. So, in between episodes, I went exploring in the Nether, by the way, and I don't want to do this at night, but I went exploring in the Nether. You see my hammer is more than half dead, which is, you know, pretty impressive considering. But when you're mining through the netherrack doesn't take a lot of hits and it breaks really easily, so mining in the nether is fast, but it also tears apart your weapons. Your pickaxes and hammers in this case. As you can see, I've got these nether quartz here, and I've got all these blocks of nether quartz, which is a lot better stuff. Each block is 4 nether quartz. You make a block out of normal nether quartz by putting it in a square in the crafting menu. So I've gotten a lot of that stuff. Now, during my exploration in the nether, during my mining in the nether, and I ran out at night anyway. Since I was out here, I went ahead and looked around a little bit. Whoa. And what I didn't realize was that there was actually a nether fortress right outside of view, right that way. So I actually didn't realize it from this angle because you can't see it very much, if at all. So I actually went out exploring that way and wound up coming all the way around and finding it. So since now I know it's there and I have this handy portal gun, I made myself a portal over there. Whoop! And here we are. So, now what's so good about that? Well, Here we're going to use the force wrench to bring home something very useful. You're not supposed to spawn yet. You're definitely not supposed to hurt me. Okay, so the force wrench can move spawners. Hold shift, right click, and boop. We now have our very own blaze spawner, which is pretty nifty. So, now that we have that, we're getting back out of here because I don't want to take a chance of dying and losing it. So yes, force wrenches can move spawners. Now, in my base, you may have noticed in previous episodes as I was walking around that I have a little side room. If you didn't notice, no big deal. I'm going to show it to you now. I have this side room right here, and this side room is cordoned off with this chest. So now I'm going to show you exactly why this side room exists after I let some water out. So we're going to put this blaze spawner, and I created this room with the water in it specifically for the purpose of dealing with blazes. So we want blaze rods. Blaze rods are always useful. They're very nice to have, and you use them for all kinds of good stuff. So we're going to place the blaze spawner here. When it spawns a blaze, the blaze will sink into the water, and when it sinks into the water will hurt the blaze and eventually kill it. Now, the bonus to this is we now have essentially a blaze rod farm. So all the water in the water's in the four corners, and it leads to the central position right here. Now, what you see barely right there is an obsidian pipe. Basically, you take two pieces of obsidian, put a piece of glass in between it, and it makes an obsidian pipe. The obsidian pipe picks up items out of the world. So, hang on a second. Okay, that's fine. They can die there. I didn't bring anything to close that gap up with because I'm a genius. But the point is that the blazes will fall out of will spawn, and by the nature of gravity, will be pulled down, or actually they just sink by their nature. They sink down into the water, see? So, sinking down to the... Hey, none of that. Did I mention that they can see you? Yeah, they can see you. So, we're going to make it so we can watch this, because it's hilarious. And, but, you know, we don't want to let too much light in, because blazes, you know, spawners are affected by light. Thankfully, blaze spawners aren't affected by light as much as certain others. So, we're gonna, oops. We can now watch as blazes die. Now, as the blaze dies, it will drop its drops, and its drops are blaze rods. So, now here, we have nothing. We'll just have to wait a second. I'm sure they'll drop something. Unless they changed it to where they don't drop unless you actually kill them yourself. Which I would find very unfortunate. And I'd have to change this to do some other way of doing it. Well, in any case, we're going to let this run for just a little bit, and hopefully we'll get some blaze rods. This stuff here was here from when I threw one of the zombie spawners that I picked up previously into here. One of the things I'll show you is when you toss an item in there, see the water draws it over that way, and then, hello, come on, thank you, and then, look, clear glass. It's being sucked into the pipe, and I have normal gold pipe transporting it around, and it winds up here. So, in theory, as long as I stand next to this, the blazes keep spawning. Eventually, when they die, they'll drop blaze rods, and it should automatically collect them for me. Unless it's just going to be a pain and not do it for me, which I would get upset about, considering I planned all this. And we still don't have anything. And I'm not seeing anything drop either. I'm wondering if this is going to work. Well, if it doesn't work, then we will just have to do it a different way. I have another way of doing it. It's not the preferable way, but I can do it this way if I need to. We'll get back to that in just a second. In the meantime, we're going to make a deep storage unit. I don't like the fact that I have all this cobblestone laying around, and so I'm not going to have it laying around. A deep storage unit is going to let me store it all in one place. first, let me sort a couple of these things out. Okay, so here we have looked up the deep storage unit. The deep storage unit recipe has changed. Okay, didn't used to need an unattuned tesseract. Unattuned tesseract is using the liquid transposers. Liquid transpose resonant ender, which is melted ender pearls, into a tesseract frame. Tesseract frame is hardened glass. See, I told you we use the hardened glass. Hardened glass, diamond, and tin. Okay, hardened glass, diamond, and tin, that's no big deal. I have all that stuff handy. What I don't have very many of is ender pearls, because I just have not taken the time to kill a bunch of endermen. So I have one ender pearl, and that's not even gonna be close enough. So, let's see, what can we do? You know, this seems like a good time as any to get into equivalent exchange. So we're gonna go ahead and get into equivalent exchange, that way we can get some ender pearls. Now, if I remember this correctly, we're gonna need some smooth stone. Where's my smooth stone? Did I use all my smooth stone? Okay, well, we're just going to assume that I used all the smooth stone, and we're going to cook up some more because, like I said, time limit, lots to do. Okay, so it's going to cook that up. So what we need to make, instead of the deep storage unit, we need to make a equivalent exchange is going to use that stupid red stone that changes a bunch of things. What is the name of that thing? You know what? We're just going to do it this way. We're going to go item subsets. We're going to go to mod. And we're going to look for equivalent exchange because I can't remember. Okay, equivalent exchange 3. And there it is. The Minium stone. How I could not remember that. Calcinator, aludel, alchemical chest. Okay, I don't know what any of this stuff is. I've never seen this. I will have to look into that. So, we're going to want to make a Minium stone, which is the Minium shards, and an inert stone. The inert stone requires smooth stone, iron, and gold. Well, we're cooking up the smooth stone, and I just happen to have an ungodly large amount of iron and gold. And, do I have any iron ingots, or is it all... we'll just convert some. No biggie. Oh, speaking of which, I have some gold to pour. And as long as I'm here, come on, blaze rods. No blaze rods. Okay, I can see where this is going to get interesting really fast. Yeah, we're going to have to make the game think that I'm killing them, or a person is killing them. We'll get into that here in just a minute. For now, look, smooth stone. Okay, we're going to take the smooth stone, and I believe it went around the edges. And then, whoops. I guess we need to convert these first. Then we had this, 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 and this, along with this, 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 and this. And then one piece of gold in the center, and look at that, an inert stone. So then we take the inert stone, and we surround it by shards of Minium. And look, we have a Minium stone. Alrighty, so Minium stone is a really good thing, and I'll show you why. We're going to convert a bunch of these blocks into ingots. So now we have a whole bunch of ingots. So, fun fact, 4 iron ingots plus the Minium stone equals ender pearls. So, 1 Minium stone, 4 iron ingots. But since I have 4 stacks of iron ingots, we're going to get a whole bunch of ender pearls. Look at that. All the ender pearls my heart can desire. Now, the Minium stone does take some damage doing this, and therefore, eventually, you'll have to make a new Minium stone. But that's going to be after a long time. So, the ungodly amount of ender pearls that I have, not so ungodly anymore. No, ungodly amount of iron that I have, not so ungodly anymore, because now we have something we can do with it. Okay, now I thought I had a couple extra... No, apparently not. Okay, we'll just make some new ones. I thought I had a couple extra hoppers, but we don't. Or if I do, then I don't know where they are, which is, same thing. So we're going to make a couple extra hoppers. And the hoppers are this, I believe. Yes, they are. So making these is going to be a bit of an annoyance, but it's going to be very useful in the fact that we then won't have to worry so much about... Whoops, can't do that way. We won't have to worry about where we're keeping all our cobblestone and have to bulk everything up. So, shift right click here on the top of this, and it attaches the hopper to it. Then we're going to put the chest on top of the hopper. Now, the way this works, anything that gets put in this chest will immediately get siphoned out, and it's being pulled down into the magma crucible, which is then melting the ender pearls and putting them over here. So, did they make... I think they made the ender pearls worth more. Either way. So, we're going to go ahead and turn the engines on to keep the energy full on these while we're working. So, now that we've got that part taken care of, and we don't need to worry about ender pearls for a little while, or ever again. It saves a lot of time when it comes to hunting down and killing endermen. So, now that we have this taken care of, we can put up the rest of this stuff. And you know what? We're not going to put the rest of stuff. We're going to go ahead and we're going to find the recipe again for the deep storage unit. Okay, plastic sheets. Plastic sheets are raw plastic in a square. Raw plastic is cooked rubber. And we don't have this kind of rubber because I've never found one of those trees, even in all my looking around and mining and stuff. We did, however, get a couple of these. So when you get the rubber tree, you cut the rubber tree down, you get raw rubber, you cook the raw rubber into rubber bars, and then you cook the rubber bars into the raw plastic. So we have the plastic for the sheets, we got plenty of chests, so we just need this unattuned tesseract. The unattuned tesseract is taking the liquid ender pearls, and it's melting it and putting it into a tesseract frame. The tesseract frame is diamonds, hardened glass, and tin ingots. So, that being the case, we need tin. There's the blocks of tin. Ah, here we go. Okay, we're going to put this away, this away, this away. Alright, so now we have tin. Over here we have all the diamonds we need, thanks to my little diamond collection. And then, what was the last part we needed? We needed hardened glass. I keep the hardened glass in the machine section. Yes, I do. Sweet. Okay, so now we're going to make a couple of these. Now, that is going to be this, plus this, and then that, and then this, and that. So, I'm going to make a couple of these. We're going to use tesseracts eventually later, and I might as well do this now because, why not, right? So, now we have the empty tesseract frames, so we're going to go ahead and put them in here. Now, this takes a bit of time to do, and we probably are going to need more liquid ender pearls in order to do this, but we're not going to go ahead and melt those up yet because we just don't want to. In the meantime, let's go see if we have any blaze rods. We do not. Okay, so these guys are not going to drop their blaze rods unless something kills them, which is very inconvenient, I must say. So what we're going to do is we're going to go get our force wrench, and we're going to take that spawner back up because there's no point in it being there at this point. And we'll have to work on that room just a little bit more. I have an idea. I'll probably implement it off camera, just because it's going to take a little bit of time and a bunch of digging and, well, not a bunch of digging, but enough. Don't make me come in there. Okay, so we're just going to place this back in place to get that to stop happening, and my spawner is here. along with the blaze rods that I got because I actually killed those blazes. Now, there's two ways that we can go about doing this, and I don't really like any of them. So, how do I want to do this? You know, I'll get back to that. For right now, let's see how many blaze rods we have total, and we might be able to make a really nifty object. We have a total of 9 blaze rods. So, I think with 9 blaze rods, I'll be able to do something pretty nifty here. Let me put up some of this stuff, because otherwise I'll just forget about it. What the hell? Clear less diamonds. We're getting pretty long in the episode. I'm trying to remember exactly everything that we were going to do. We've got the Tesseract frames working up. Tesseract frames are done. So a stack made 4, so 2 more stacks of ender pearls, which is 16 is a stack for ender pearls. 2 more stacks of ender pearls should make up the rest of those. So that will go ahead and get that full and take care of that. So now we should have plastic sheets in here, because I already made them. We do. So we've got the plastic sheets, we've got the Tesseract frames, and we need some chests. Alrighty. So we're going to make this by going like this. And then like this. Alrighty, so this is going to make 8 deep storage units, which is perfectly fine. Chances are we won't ever need 8. I don't know anything we could possibly store that would require 8 of these. However, what we're going to do now is we're going to pick a spot. Where's a spot? I want to put it right here, but I already have stuff in the way. So, a spot. You know, we're just going to... No. Yeah, we are. Alrighty, 1 deep storage unit. So, now, what we're going to do, and this is kind of an annoying part, but we're going to have to clear out a bunch of stuff. So, we're going to put in this and this, and then we're going to empty this out, and we're going to put the gravel in there. That gets my inventory clear of the gravel, and let me put some of this stuff up real quick because it'll be faster if I do it this way. Hopefully I won't crash everything because I'm putting all this stuff laying out on the ground. We'll find out here in a second. So, standing on all this stuff here, we're going to fill it all in. Alright, more cobble. Did I mention that these can actually store 2 billion of an item? 2 billion. I don't think I have to worry about this anytime soon. Anyway, we're not going to stand here and just keep converting all this stuff into deep storage units. We're going to make something else that's going to be really fun to have. Something else that's going to require a bunch of this power that I'm making. Something else that's also going to make things really, really easy to do. Actually, you know, we'll have to save that for next episode. It's going to be a bit deeper build than I wanted to. We're going to go and we're going to make some ender stuff. Now that we have some blaze rods, we can make some ender items. Specifically, ender chests and ender pouches. So we want to make at least one ender chest, which is going to be ender pearls. Got plenty of those. Wool. Ooh, wool. Do we have any wool? We've got plenty of string, which we can use to make wool. So then we're going to use the blaze rods. Wow, 4 blaze rods each. I'm going to have to kill some more blazes because we'll only be able to make one of these. Well, actually, that might be enough. Oh, I know what else we're going to need. We need leather. I don't have any leather. No, this is bad. Okay, well, we're going to make an ender chest first. And we're going to need the blaze rods, which we have, obsidian, a chest, an ender pearl, and some wool. So the wool should be in with the mob drops, because I put passive and aggressive mobs in the same place. There's the wool. There's the ender pearls. We've got the blaze rods, and we've got the chests. So, let's do it. We're going to do this, and then we're going to do this. And that didn't do what I thought it would do. Oh well. Alright, so the chest goes in the center, the blaze rods go on the outside edge. This goes up here, and obsidian. I didn't grab the obsidian. Which, by the way, I mined some obsidian between episodes. Can you tell? Just a little bit. I went down to the bottom of the world, and I put out a couple buckets of water, and I put my turtles down, and I had them just cut through a bunch of obsidian. It was very handy. Turtles will cut through it very quickly, too. They don't mind at all. Alright, so there's our first ender chest. So what's so great about an ender chest? Well, if you don't know anything about vanilla ender chests, then you don't know anything about these ender chests. So we're going to put this ender chest here in this corner of the room just for the sake of doing so. I might move it later on, I'm not really sure. This basically is a common box of sorts. I can take this and put this stuff in here, and then I can break the ender chest, and that stuff is still in the chest. I can then replace the ender chest, and look, there's my stuff. So there's a little bit more to be done with this. Unfortunately, I don't have the time right now. The episode is drawing to a close. This is where we're going to have to wrap up. I need to turn these off because they're no longer producing power that is needed. Everything's full, everything's done, and therefore they are burning stuff. Whoops. Well, I guess I got that part wrong. This still has room for energy. We're going to flip them back on because they're still at full power. They're still at full heat, and the higher their heat is, the more efficient they are. So as long as that still has power that can be drawn from it, I'll let them run, and it will go ahead and continue charging this. Okay, so next episode, we're going to cover some more ender things. In between episodes, I'm going to create a cow farm. I will go out with my portal gun. I will find some cows. I will carve out a space in the base somewhere to hold cows. Most likely, I'll put them opposite the villagers, which will probably be right here. I'll have to carve out a little niche, and I'll have to, give them a little place to live. And I'll start breeding cows, and we'll get a bunch of leather. And I'll kill the cows with my looting hammer. That way we can get a bunch of extra leather. I've killed cows with this thing before. I can't believe I don't have any leather. I have 54 leather. What is wrong with me? Okay, well, for a few minutes over, well, just be a few minutes over. Okay, we're going to make this ender chest. I don't know why I didn't realize that. I've killed a bunch of these things. Okay, ender pearl, wool, blaze powder, and leather. So blaze powder is broken down blaze rods. So there we have blaze powder. So now, since we have the stuff necessary, I'm going to put that there, and that didn't take. I don't know why that didn't take. And we're going to put this here, here, and here. Did I do that backwards? Yes, I did. Okay. So now there's an ender pouch. Now this ender pouch is very handy for a bunch of different reasons. The reason being, it is a portable ender chest. So I can be walking around, and let's say I'm mining an area, and I've run into a dungeon, and there's a spawner, and I want the spawner, but I didn't bring my forest wrench with me. No, that means I gotta go all the way back to my base and get the forest wrench and bring it all the way back here. Nope, not anymore. When we use the ender pouch, we can put things in here, and they will stay there. I don't want to carry my portal gun around. If I go swimming in lava again and I lose my portal gun, I'll be very upset. So I'll store my portal gun in here as well. Now, if I were to die, if I were to throw this pouch into lava and just destroy it, for whatever reason, if this pouch is lost or destroyed or whatever is in it is still there. If I create a new ender pouch, when I open it, these items will be in it. So I can carry this pouch around with a whole bunch of really good, useful items and have no fear of losing them if I die or if I fall into lava or somehow fall out into nothingness. What I have in my inventory will be lost, but what's in the ender pouch will still be there when I recreate a new ender pouch. So that is some really awesome stuff. Now, the interesting part here is, see, on the top of the ender chest here, you see that it has 3 little rectangles. White, white, and white. And if you look on the front of my ender pouch, it says white, white, and white as well. These are connected. If you look in this, it opens that. Because white, white, and white is the same as white, white, and white. Now, I've switched off the ender pouch and I'm just opening the chest. Look, my stuff's there. And this is what's going to make doing things out later a lot easier. Anyway, next episode, we're going to create a couple of things that are going to make our automated mining a lot easier. I'm going to, in between episodes, I'm not going to set up, well, I might set up the auto killer for the blazes. I may not. I'm definitely going to spend some time killing them so I can make a bunch of ender chests. Ender chests are going to be used a lot. So, that being the case, I'm in between episodes, I'll kill a whole bunch of those guys and I'll get a whole bunch of blaze rods and we'll make a whole bunch of stuff. And we're going to use the ender chests to help automate mining. Now, why would we want to automate mining? I'm going to, and this is the last thing I'm going to do because we're out of time, I'm going to show you why having ender chests is a good thing. I showed you what I got out of this area when it was done being mined. What I didn't show you is what it looked like before I went and gathered all the items together. What it looked like before I gathered all the items together is this. All those chests had to be gone and gathered, emptied, and taken down. And it is cool that you can do that, but it's also a real pain in the butt to have to deal with all those chests. So, next episode, we're not going to deal with those chests anymore. We're going to make it a lot easier and a lot better and just overall more efficient. So, until next episode, this is Jeronitis signing off, and remember, help spread the gaming.